Of course she's pissed. What is she pissed about? Well, when you have a partner that's cheated on you, and you've had no idea all along, maybe for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years, it's painful. And, people have to respond in some way to the pain and the fear of realizing that, well, your reality is no longer what you thought it was. My name is Cheryl Camarillo, and I work with couples where there's been some type of betrayal. Maybe the partner has been having an affair, is a sex addict, uses pornography, uses escorts, does sexting, does a lot of online types of things with regard to sex. So I guess that the question is, what is a partner supposed to experience? And then the other side of that is I get a lot of comments from the people that have done the betraying as far as not understanding how they're supposed to get through this, because the longer that they are experiencing the anger from their partner, the more that it makes them feel helpless and start to have more fear. It's increasing in addition to their shame and guilt. And so they, of course, react. And that reaction is going to be, for some, it's going to be anger. So you have a person that's been betrayed, experiencing post traumatic type stresses and symptoms. And then you have, the other person that's getting angry about the interactions that are going on. I've been working in this field for 30 years, most recently in the last 6 years in sex addiction and betrayal trauma. And my journey started with my own personal experiences of having a partner that was trapped in his use of pornography. And so is pornography an addiction? That's a whole other episode. But I will say that if it's causing you to neglect relationships or causing you to make choices or changing your behavior as far as like how you run your life, because it's now focused on pornography, then it can be an addiction as well. I have been thinking more and more about anger in relationships. And, that I said that the anger a lot of times is coming from fear, and then the fact that reality is no longer the same. It's basically like a shock to the system when you've been, going through your life day to day, maybe struggling or stressed with just things like picking up kids, going to your job, disagreements with your partner, or maybe no disagreements. Everything seemed to be doing fine. And then you get this realization, you stumble on some kind of fact, you have somebody that tells you, or even an affair partner comes up and tells you, "Hey, your husband or wife is cheating on you." So I think one of the first things that I try to do is when I'm working with the partner that's been cheated on is try to help them calm down, but at the rate that they need to calm down. I think um, it's not irrational. It's not something that needs to be changed if a person is feeling angry about deception. And so I usually just encourage the person to let themselves have their feelings. There are so many new things out there, writing and books. The Body Keeps the Score. Um, there's there's Levine. There's so many people out there that are looking at how crisis events get trapped in the body, and then if you don't do things to get those things taken care of, then you are potentially just going to be storing up some of these hurts and pains. So you have to experience the emotion. You have to let your thoughts run through, and then you need to decide, you know, what the reaction's going to be. So in the beginning, the reaction can be shutting down. I don't want to think about this. This is too much for me to handle. A reaction might be that there's just this explosive amount of energy. That's your fight or flight reaction, and you don't know what you're gonna do or how you're gonna slow things down, because now now it's difficult to function. And in fight or flight, you get all kinds of things that start occurring, like a lot of you know continuous thinking, and difficulty sleeping, all kinds of digestive issues, um, a lot of depression and anxiety. It's the same thing for the freeze response. If you're shutting down, it's because you don't want to deal with things. It's easier for you to not have a reaction than it is for you to react to the situation. Then you are going to shut down. So overreact, underreact, neither one of those things is wrong, although having the reaction piece, the fight or flight, can if you harness that energy, you can actually get that out of your system. You can also get the numbing response out of your system, because I do a lot of focus on self-care. um you shut down, you don't know what to do, you get really confused. You stop eating, you stop sleeping, your brain just keeps rolling through the what ifs and why didn't I understand? I One day I was talking to a friend, and I just thought that would make a really good podcast title, like why didn't I know that? Um, a lot of women have that kind of statement at some point, especially when they're talking to friends or they're talking to other women that are experiencing betrayal, or other men. So, why didn't I know that? Well, you didn't know that because the other person was trying to make sure you didn't get that information. The problem is that your body probably sensed it. So, I'll come back later, maybe at a different point, to talk about how do you release the anger that builds up in your body. How do you release the fear that builds up in your body? So but I'm going to go back to the anger part. So the partner that's been betrayed upon is extremely angry, and there's a lot of people that direct that anger to the person that betrayed them, and rightly so, on a lot of levels. But I think the consistent question I get from the person that did the betraying is, when is this going to stop? When are they just going to move on? And I'm going to tell you that if that's the response that you have, um, for a large majority of that, maybe 90% of the people that are dealing with this, hearing the statement, when are they going to move on, is like reversing the blame and saying, now you're the problem. And that's why a lot of people turn around and say, they're being gaslit, or that, their partner's a narcissist and they're only thinking about their own thoughts and feelings. Oh, they're feeling uncomfortable with my anger. Well, I'm uncomfortable with your cheating. Those are the kinds of things that, are running through a person's head. So when I'm talking to the person that's done the betraying, I try to help them understand that that's a normal reaction, and they have two jobs to do while they're working on changing this behavior. One is understanding what their addiction patterns are like and why they chose to do the things that they choose to do, whether it's, you know, an affair because they felt like they needed something, and it was a one-time thing, or it's another situation where it's definitely ingrained that there's a neural pathway. I'm a brain hacker. That there's a neural pathway that's been built that says keep acting in this way, and um, you don't think about consequences, and you don't think about the pain that goes into the situation when your partner finally uncovers the truth. I guess the other thing that I tell the person that's been betraying is that the next important thing besides just staying present, actually the important piece is staying present. And by that I mean, if your partner is, expressing their anger, extremely sad, very emotional, and it's uncomfortable for you, that's okay. Let yourself handle that uncomfortable feeling, because if you can step back and um, just be present for your partner, they will feel like at least there's an effort to stay involved. When you pull yourself away, it's like you're putting up a wall and you're saying, I don't want to feel what's coming from you as far as emotion, the sadness, the crying, everything is falling apart, the hopelessness, the helplessness, the demands for answers. You put a wall up and then you don't want to have any interactions with the person that's been betrayed. And guess what that feels like? It feels like what was going on when they were being cheated on. So now they've already turned their gut instinct on, and they said, I should have listened to my body. I should have listened to my, that first little inkling of something might be wrong here. And now they're on overdrive looking for any kind of um, clue that they're going to be cheated on again. And the main reason that they become so hyper vigilant could be for two different reasons. One of those is, I'm not going to go through this again. I'm not going to accept this pain again. And the second reason would be, I just need to deal with this and keep this quiet because other people don't need to know. And so then they're pretty isolated. So if you're the partner that's been betrayed and you see the person that did the betraying pulling away, that just gets really frustrating to think that, oh, you can't handle a little bit of emotion. Well, step into my shoes, buddy, that kind of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to just take a moment to talk about anger, wanted to take a moment to say that's normal, wanted to take a moment to say you have to do some things to take care of yourself and the anger that you're experiencing because you've gone through the shock of discovering, someone's betrayal. I plan to do another discussion about what those types of things are that you can do to help you with that. But that's going to be in the next video, probably. My name is Cheryl Camarillo. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have a free gift for you. If you are a partner that's been betrayed, if you look down in my description, I have a link and you can definitely, register for that. And I'll send you 3 webinars, one after another through emails. And then there's 2 free gifts there. Please sign up. And also, if you feel like I could really use a consultation, I really could use, some guidance in trying to get more intensive kinds of help, you know, go onto my website, CherylCamarillo.com. It's listed down in the description as well. And book a session, a 20-minute session, and we can discuss, what the way forward might look like for you. It won't be therapy, but it'll be like the beginning stages of, addressing this. And the other side of that is talking to someone who knows and understands why you're experiencing the anger that you are. Thank you.